From Max Beaumont, hey Jay, what metrics does a young, non-engineer solo founder need to have for an app to raise a seed round? Asking for a friend. Yeah, and so I just got into that a little bit. It's related. Daily active users, monthly active users, if you don't have revenue, are the key statistics. The amount of time people spend in your app, the number of times they open it, right? So there's the number of sessions, the number of people using it, unique people using it, and there is how much money you make from it. So listen, if you had an app that had low usage, but it was DraftKings, and those people were spending a bunch of money every day, and you were making a couple of dollars a day off each person, well, hey, that's a big different story than, hey, you have Instagram, and nobody pays for Instagram, so they have to get to a huge number in order for the ad network to kick in, right? So I think looking at the downloads and looking at the engagement on a percentage basis and the retention, these are all valid. It's going to be a little different for an enterprise product as well. Let's say you have an enterprise product like 15Five or Slack. Well, if Slack's getting paid $5 a user and they only have 1,000 users, they're making $5,000 a month. Well, to make $5,000 a month at a $10 CPM would require 500,000 users for a consumer app. So two different buckets of people. Revenue at the end of the day speaks for all companies. Revenue and earnings. At the end of the day, that's what it's all about. At the end of the day, that's what you will be judged on if you go public as a company. Now, you may get bought because you have a large user base like Instagram didn't have revenue, was pre-revenue, or Snapchat was sort of pre-revenue for a while, but still was able to raise lots of money. So that's the gambit that a lot of companies make. They push out revenue and they go for scale. It is a gambit in the truest sense of the word because you're going to risk running out of money and being dependent on continued investment. So be careful if you do that. Never too soon to have a business model, never too soon to be collecting revenue in my mind. It's a real honor for me to be in such a deep and meaningful partnership with the team at IBM. My first computer was an IBM PC Junior, and it took me 6 months to convince my dad to save up the money from his bar. And one night, he got home from the bar at 6 or 7 in the morning, and I was annoying him as a 12-year-old. I really want the PC Junior. It's $900. Please get me a PC Junior. And he said, fine. He was kind of half in the bag at the time. And we drove to downtown Manhattan to this computer store on Lower Broadway. I'll never forget it. It was a Saturday morning. He had been out all night Friday. And he had cash. And he walked in and he bought me the IBM PC Junior. And it was the greatest computer. It started me on my journey. And now, wow, it's like 30 years later, and I'm in a deep partnership with IBM. I can pinch myself. It's really just super great to have the recognition of a world-class company like IBM who cares just as much as I do and my team does about supporting founders. So SmartCamp 2015, SmartCamp 2015, SmartCamp2015.com. If you're a fan of the show and you appreciate all the work we do at Launch Festival, please go to your local SmartCamp 2015 and encourage entrepreneurs to go to it. And then, of course, you're all my guests, and you're the guest of IBM and Launch at Scale and at the Launch Festival. Couldn't do it without their support, and it's just such a great partnership, and it's just beginning. So thanks again to our friends at IBM, and we'll see you next time on a special Ask Jason episode.